Hello dear students, in this lesson I'm going to talking about solving quadratic equations by completing the squares. In the first part of this lesson I'm gonna talking about the square root rules. When you have an expression like x squared equal to a, when we solving this equation and finding the value for x, we have to take in the square root for both sides. When we take the square root for x squared equal to x, and then when we take the square root for a, we will get negative or positive the square root of a. So in the first example, we have x squared equal to 16. For finding the value of x, we have to take the square root for each for both sides. So we have x squared equal to 16. We have to take the square roots for both sides. X squared equal to x, and then the square root of 16 is perfect square, come from 4 times 4, so equal to 4, and then we have positive or negative. So the value for x, or the solution for this equation, are 4 and negative 4. Example number 2, we have x squared plus 4 equal to 0. So you have to make the x stay alone in the side, or in the left side, so you have to change the place of positive 4 to the right side. So we have x squared equal to, when we change the place of positive 4 to the right side, become negative 4, so 0 minus 4, and then x squared equal to negative 4. So there is no real number whose square is negative, so this equation has no solution. Example number 3, we have 4x squared minus 25 equal to 0. We have to change the place of negative 25 to the right side to become x stay alone. So we have 4x squared equal to 0. When we change the place of negative 25, become positive 25, and then we have 4x squared equal to 0 plus 25 is 25. After that, we have to divide both sides by 4 to get rid of this 4. So x squared equal to 25 out of 4, and then you have to take the square root for both sides. So the square root equal to x, the square root of x equal to x, and then the square root of 25 is 5, and the square root of 4 is 2. So we have positive or negative 5 out of 2. Example number 4, we have negative 25 equal to x squared. So the value, or there is no real number whose square root is negative, so the value for negative, or the value for x squared should not be negative number, so this equation has no solution. Example number 5, you have 0 equal to 18 x squared minus 25. So you have to change the place of negative 25 to the left side, so we have 0 plus 25 equal to 18x squared. After that, we have to add these two numbers, 0 plus 25 equal to 25 equal to 18 x squared. After that, we have to divide both sides, and then we can rewrite this equation like that: 18 x squared equal to 25. After that you have to divide both sides by 18 to get rid of this 18, and then these two terms are cancelled, so x squared equal to 25. Out of 18 you have to take the square root for both sides, so x equal to positive or negative 25 is perfect square equal to 5, and then 18 is not perfect square, so the square root of 18 is 2 times 9. The square root of 2 times 9 and 3 is perfect square equal 9 is perfect square equal to 3, so 2 is not perfect square, so 2 stay inside the square roots. So the value for x is positive or negative 5 out of 3 square root 2. Example number 6, we have negative 4 r squared minus 49 equal to 0. So first we have to change the place of negative 49 to the right side, so we have negative 4 r squared equal to 0 plus 49, and then negative 4 r squared equal to 49. After that you have to divide both sides by negative 4, so the value for r squared equal to negative 49 out of 4. So this equation has no solution because the value for r squared should not be negative number. In the second part of this lesson, I'm gonna talking about how can we approximating the solution for the variable when we finding. So example number 1, you have 0 equal to 2x squared plus 80. First we have to change the place of positive 80 to the left side, so you have 0 minus 80 equal to 2x squared. After that you have to divide both sides by 2 to get rid of this 2, so you have 80 or negative 80 divided by 2 equal to this 2's are cancelled, x squared. Negative 80 divided by 2 will be negative 40, but the value for this 2 is negative, and then you have to divide both sides by negative 2, so the value for x squared equal to 80 divided by 2 or negative 80 divided by negative 2 is positive 40 equal to x squared, and then you have to take the square root for both sides, so the value for x is equal to negative or positive, and then the square root of 40 when we use the calculator approximately equal to 6.32. So the value for x is positive or negative 6.32. Example number 2, we have 3x squared equal to 81. So first you have to divide both sides by 3 to get rid of this 3, so x squared equal to 81 out of 3, and then you have to take the square root for both sides, or before we taking the square root for both sides we can divide these two numbers. 81 divided by 3 equal to 27, So x squared equal to 27, and then you have to take the square root for both sides. The value for x is positive or negative. The square root of 27 is approximately equal to 5.2. So the value for x is negative or positive 5.2. Example number 3, we have x squared plus 10 equal to 144. So first step, you have to change the place of negative 10 to the right side. Sorry. So we have x squared equal to 144. When we change the place of positive 10 to the right side, become negative 10. X squared equal to 144 minus 10 equal to 134. And then you have to take the square root for both sides. The value for x is equal to the square root of 134, approximately equal to 11.57. So the value for x is equal to positive or negative 11.57. Example number 4, we have 2r squared minus 10 equal to 64. First, you have to change the place of negative 10 to the right side. You have 2r squared equal to 64 plus 10, and then we have 2r squared equal to 64 plus 10 equal to 74, and then you have to divide both sides by 2. So r squared equal to 74 divided by 2 equal to 37. After that, you have to take the square root for both sides. R equal to positive or negative the square root of 37. When we use the calculator, approximately equal to 6.08. So the value for R equal to positive or negative 6.08. After that, the third part of this lesson, I'm going to teach you how to use the complete square root for solving quadratic equation. When we have an expression or an equation like that in this form, x squared plus bx equal to c, we have to find or we have to make this equation be the perfect square, and then find the third term. So we have to make this equation like this form: the perfect square, x squared plus bx plus b squared. So we have to find the value for b squared. For finding the value for b squared, we have to divide this b in this equation is 14. We have to divide 14 by 2 and then square. So 14 divided by 2 is 7, and then you have to square 7. So the value for the third term is 7 squared. 7 squared equal to 49. And then we have to add 49 for both sides of this equation. So we have to x squared plus 14x plus 49 equal to 15 plus 49. And then we can simplify x squared plus 14x plus 49 equal to 15 plus 49 equal to 64. And then now this equation is perfect square. We can use the rule for perfect square. We can draw a parenthesis and then equal to 64. So you have to write 2 over the parentheses, and then x squared come from x plus 49 come from 7 multiplied by 7. So you have x plus 7 squared equal to 64. After that, we have to take the square root for both sides. So you have x plus 7 the square root of x plus 7 squared, and then 64 the square root of 64. So the square root of x plus 7 squared equal to x plus 7, and then the square root of 64 is 8, positive or negative 8. After that, we have to write and solve two equations like that. X plus 7 equal to positive 8, or x plus 7 equal to negative 8. We have to find the value for x for each equation. So x is equal to 8 minus 7, x is equal to 8 minus 7 equal to 1. So x is equal to 1, or the second equation we have x plus 7 equal to negative 8. You have to change the place of positive 7 to the right side. So you have negative 8, negative 7. So x is equal to negative 15. So the solution for this equation are 1 or are 1 and negative 15. Example number 2, we have x squared minus 2x minus 2 equal to 0. First step, we have to rewrite this equation like that. X squared minus 2x equal to, you have to change the place of negative to the right side, become positive 2. After that, we have to make this equation be perfect square. So you have to find the value for the third term. For finding the value of the third term, we have to divide this 2 divided by 2. We have to divide this 2 divided by 2 and then square 1. So 2 divided by 2 is 1, and you have to square it. 1 times 1 equal to 1, and then we have to add both sides with 1 in the equation. So x squared plus 2x plus 1 equal to 2 plus 1, and then we have to add these two numbers. X squared plus 2x plus 1 equal to 3. Now we have a perfect square. We can use the perfect square rule. We have to draw a parenthesis, and then we have to write 2 over the parenthesis equal to 3, and then we have to add inside the parenthesis, and then x squared come from x times x, and 1 come from 1 multiplied by 1. After that, you have to take the square root for both sides. So you have x plus 1, the square root for x plus 1 square equal to the square root of 3. The square root of x plus 2 square equal to x plus 1 equal to the square root of 3 is not a perfect square, so equal to positive or negative the square root or the root of 3. After that, you have to write and solve two equations. X plus 1 equal to positive root 3, or x plus 1 equal to negative 3 root 3, and then you have to find the value for x. So you have to change the place of positive 1 to the right side. So x is equal to root 3 minus 1, or x is equal to negative root 3 minus root 3 minus 1. So we can rewrite the value for x. We can write x is equal to root 3 minus 1, or x is equal to negative 1 minus root 3. Example number 3, we have y squared plus 6y equal to negative 5. We have to rewrite this equation like perfect square, so we have to find the third term. For finding the third term, we have to divide this 6 by 2 and then square it. So 6 divided by 2 equal to 3, and then you have to square it. 3 times 3 equal to 9. We have to add both sides by 9, so we have y squared plus 6y plus 9 equal to negative 5 plus 9, and then you have to solve this. 2 times y squared plus 6y plus 9 equal to minus times plus is minus. We have to subtract. 9 minus 5 is negative, sorry, is positive 4, because the sign of the large number is positive. After that, this is the perfect square. We can use the rules for perfect square. We have to draw a parenthesis, and then inside the parenthesis is positive, and you have to write 2 over the parenthesis equal to 4. Inside the parenthesis, y squared come from y multiplied by y, and then 9 come from 3 times 3. After that, we have to take the square root for both sides. Y plus 3 squared, the square root for y plus 3 equal to the square root of 4. The square root of y plus 3 equal to y plus 3. The square root of 4 is 2, or positive negative 2. After that, we have two equations, and we have to find the value for y in these equations. So y plus 3 equal to positive 2, or y plus 3 equal to negative 2. And then y plus 3 equal to positive 2. We have to change the place of positive 3 to the right side. So y equal to 2 minus 3. The value for y is equal to negative 1. And then the second equation, we have y plus 3 equal to negative 2. We have to change the place of positive 3 to the right side. So y equal to negative 2 minus 3. Minus times minus is plus. We have to add these two numbers. Y equal to negative 5. So the value for y equal to negative 1 and negative 5. The solution for this equation is negative 1 and negative 5. Example number 4, we have y squared plus y equal to 20. We have to rewrite this equation as a perfect square, so you have to find the value for third term. So the coefficient for y is 1, so you have to 1 divided by 2 and then square it. So 1 times 1 is 1, 2 times 2 is 4. You have to add both sides with 1 out of 4. So y squared plus y plus 1 out of 4 equal to 20 plus 1 out of 4. First, we have to add this whole number and this fraction 20 plus 1 out of 4. We have to change this whole number to fraction, and then the least common multiple for 1 and 4 is 4. We have to multiply this fraction by 4. 4 times 20 is 80. 4 times 1 is 4 plus 1 out of 4. Now we can add 80 plus 1 equal to 81 out of 4. So you have y squared plus y plus 1 out of 4 equal to 81 out of 4. Now this is a perfect square. You can use the rules for perfect square. In this parentheses we have at, so y squared come from y times y, and the 1 out of 4 come from 1 out of 2 multiplied by 1 out of 2. After that you have to take the square root for both sides. So the square root for this term is y plus 1 out of 2 equal to positive or negative 81 come from 9 times 9, and then 4 come from 2 times 2. After that we have to write two equations and solve it. Y plus 1 out of 2 equal to positive 9 out of 2, and then you have to solve it. Y equal to 9 out of 2. You have to change the place of 1 out of 2, or positive 1 out of 2 become negative 1 out of 2. So you have 9 out of 2 minus 1 out of 2, and then we can subtract. Y equal to 9 minus 1 equal to 8 out of 2. So 8 out of 2 equal to 4. Or y equal y plus 1 out of 2 equal to negative 9 out of 2. You have to change the place of negative positive 1 out of 2 to the right side, become negative 1 out of 2. So y equal to negative 9 out of 2 minus 1 out of 2. Y equal to minus times minus is plus. We have to add these two numbers. 9 plus 1 equal to 10 out of 2. Negative 10 out of 2. So 10 out of 2, 10 divided by 2 equal to negative 5. So y, the solution for y are 8 out of 2 or 4, or and negative 10 out of 2 or negative 5. In the last part of this lesson, I'm gonna talking about solving an equation like this: a x squared plus bx equal to c by completing the square root. First step, you have to get rid of this a and make this x squared b stay alone. So in the example number 1, we have 3x squared plus 10x equal to negative 3. First step, we have to get rid of this 3 and make this x squared b stay alone. So you have to divide both sides by 3. You have to divide this 3 terms by 3. So these two terms are reduced. X duja or x squared stay alone minus 10 out of 3x equal to negative 3 divided by 3 equal to negative 1. After that, we have to make this equation be perfect square, so you have to find the third term. You have to divide this number by 2 and then square it. So we have negative 10 out of 3 divided by 2. So in this division you have to write the first fraction the same, negative 10 out of 3. You have to change this divide to multiply, and then you have to write the reciprocal of 2 out of 1 is 1 out of 2. After that, you have to multiply negative 10 times 1 equal to negative 10. 3 times 2 equal to 6. After that, you have to write this fraction in simplest form. The greatest common factor for 10 and 6 is 2. You have to divide both sides by both numbers by 2. So 10 divided by 2 is 5. 6 divided by 2 is 3. And then you have to square it. 5 times 5 is 25. 3 times 3 is 9. So the value for the third term is 25 out of 9. You have to add 25 out of 9 from both sides. So you have x squared minus 10 out of 3 x plus 25 out of 9 equal to negative 1 plus 25 out of 9. And then we can solve negative 1 plus 25 out of 9. We can change this whole number into fraction, and then the greatest common factor for 1 and 9 is 9. We have to multiply the first fraction by 9, so 9 times negative 1 out of 1 equal to negative 9 out of 9 plus 25 out of 9. So negative times positive is negative. You have to subtract these two numbers. 25 minus 9 equal to 16 out of 9. So equal to the positive 16 out of 9. So x squared minus 10 out of 3x plus 25 out of 9 equal to 16 out of 9. And then this equation is a perfect square. We can write the rules for the perfect square. And then one of the sign is negative and the other is positive, so the sign of this parenthesis should be negative. So x squared come from x times x, and 25 out of 9 come from 5 out of 3 multiplied by 5 out of 3. After that, you have to take the square root for both sides. So x minus 5 out of 3 equal to positive negative. The square root of 16 is 4, and the square root of 9 is 3. After that, you have to write two equations. X minus 5 out of 3 equal to positive 4 out of 3. So x is equal to, you have to change the place of negative 5 out of 3 to the right side. So we have 4 out of 3 plus 5 out of 3 equal to 9. 9 out of 3, and 9 divided by 3 is 3, or x minus 5 out of 3 equal to negative 4 out of 3. You have to change the place of negative 5 out of 3, so x is equal to negative 4 out of 3 plus 5 out of 3. You have to subtract these two numbers, so equal to 5 minus 4 equal to 1 out of 3. So the solution are 3 and 1 out of 3. Example number 2, we have negative 2 or negative x squared minus 5x equal to negative 5. First step, we have to get rid of this negative, so you have to divide each term by negative 1. So this two negative are cancel, x squared stay, this two negative will be positive 5x equal to 5. After that, you have to make this equation be perfect square and find the third term. So you have to divide 5 by 2 and then square it. 5 times 5 equal to 25, and 2 times 2 equal to 4. So the value for third term is 25. Out of 4 we have to add 25 and 4 for both sides, so we have x squared plus 5x plus 25 out of 4 equal to 5 plus 25 out of 4. After that, we have to add 5 with 25 out of 4. 5 plus 25 out of 4. You have to make this whole number be fraction, and then the least common multiple for 1 and 4 is 4. You have to multiply the first fraction by 4. 4 times 5 is 20. 1 times 4 is 4, plus 25 out of 4. And then you have to add 20 plus 25 is 45 out of 4. So x squared plus 5x plus 25 out of 4 equal to 45 out of 4. Now this equation is perfect square. We can use the perfect square rule. X squared comes from x times x, and then we have to write plus, because both sides is positive. 25 out of 4 comes from 4. 5 out of 2 times 5 out of 2. Now we have to take the square for both sides. So we have to write two equations and solve for x. X plus 5 out of 2 equal to positive or negative 45 out of the square root of 45 out of 2, because 45 is not a perfect square, so stay inside the square root. And then x plus 5 out of 2 equal to positive the square root of 45 out of 2. So we have to we have to change the place of 5 out of 2 to the right side. So we have x equal to the square root of 45 out of 2 minus 5 out of 2. So the value for x is for the square root of 45 minus 5 out of 2. And then this is the first value for x, and after that x plus 5 out of 2 equal to negative root 45 out of 2. You have to change the place of positive 5 out of 2 to the right side, so x equal to the root of 45 out of 2 minus 5 out of 2. So the value for x equal to negative root of 45 minus 5 out of 2. So this is the second value for x. Example number 3, you have negative x squared minus x plus 1 equal to 0. First step, you have to change the place of positive onto the right side. So you have negative x squared minus x equal to 0 minus 1. So x minus x squared minus x equal to -1. After that we have to get rid of this negative, so we have to divide both sides and each term by -1. So we will get x squared plus x equal to 1. After that we have to change this equation into perfect square and find the third term. So we have to, the coefficient for x is 1. We have to divide 1 by 2 and then square it, equal to 1 out of 4. We have to add 1 out of 4 from both sides. X squared plus x plus 1 out of 4 equal to 1 plus 1 out of 4. We have to change this whole number into fraction, and then we have to multiply by 2 because the least common multiple for 1 and 4 is 4. So we have x squared plus x plus 1 out of 4 equal to 4 out of 4 plus 1 out of 4, and then 4 plus 1 is 5 out of 4. So we have x squared plus x plus 1 out of 4 equal to 5 out of 4. Now this is a perfect square. We can use the rules for perfect square. X squared come from x times x, and 1 out of 4 come from 1 out of 2 times 1 out of 2. Now we have two equations. X plus 1 out of 2 equal to positive or negative 5, the square root of 5 out of 2. Because when we take the square root for both sides, 5 is not perfect square, so stay inside the square root. After that, x plus 1 out of 2 equal to positive the square root of 5 out of 2. So you have to change the place of positive 1 out of 2 to the right side, so x equal to the square root of 5 out of 2 plus 1 out of 2. So the value for x is the square root of 5 plus 1. So this sign should be negative. So if the square root of 5 minus 1 out of 2, this is the first value for x, and the second value for x plus 1 out of 2 equal to negative the square root of 5 out of 2, and then you have to change the place of 1 out of 2 to the right side, so x is equal to negative 5 out of 2 minus 1 out of 2. So the value for x is negative the square root of 5 minus 1 out of 2. So this is the second value for x. Last example, you have 2x squared equal to negative 7x minus 29. First step, we have to rewrite this equation like that. 2x squared, you have to change the place of negative 7x to the left side, become positive 7x equal to negative 29. After that, we have to get rid of this 2, so you have to divide both sides by 2. These two terms are cancelled, so x squared plus 7 out of 2x equal to negative 29 out of 2. After that, we have to find the value for third term to make this equation be perfect square. So the value for third term, you have to divide this fraction 7 out of 2 So 7 out of 2 divided by 2 and then square it. We have to change this whole number to fraction, and then 7 out of 2 you have to change this divide to multiply, and then we have to write the reciprocal of 2 out of 1 is 1 out of 2. So multiply 7 times 1 is 7, 2 times 2 is 4, square 7 times 7 is 49, 4 times 4 is 16. And then you have to add both sides from 49 out of 16, x squared plus 7 out of 2 x plus 49 out of 16 equal to negative 29 out of 2 plus 49 out of 16. After that, when we add these two fractions, the value for these two fractions is negative 1 out of 183 out of 16. So equal to 49 out of 16 plus 7 out of 2x plus x squared. After that, this is the perfect square. You have to use the rules for perfect square. You have to write at x squared come from x times x, 49 out of 16 come from 7 out of 4 multiplied by 7 out of 4. So the value for this square is, we have a negative, so this equation has no solution. Because the value for x squared should not be negative number, like this example.